we're still working on research. We did the introduction, the similarities and the difference, and then finally presentation and preparation. Now in presentation and preparation, we look at the research structure. Now in the research structure, we have two structures, one research proposal and then two final research. Now in research proposal composed of the following: preliminaries, 3 chapters. Chapter 1 is introduction, chapter 2 is literature review, chapter 3 is research methodology, then reference, then finally appendix. When you go to the final research contains the following: 1, we have preliminaries; 2, we have 5 chapters. After research methodology, we have data analysis. Then chapter 5, we have research findings, summary of findings, conclusion, and recommendation. Then reference, appendix. So these are the difference between now the research proposal and the research and the final research. Now we move on to the next area, is the preliminaries. So in preliminaries, the introduction part of the research, which shows the following critical components. So we have the following: cover page, declaration, dedication, acknowledgement, abstract, table of content, list of tables, list of figures, list of abbreviation, and finally list of operational terms. So we'll handle each and every section. We have the first one, cover page. Now what is in the cover page? Under this page, the following must be clearly indicated: the topic of the research. So you need to give the topic. Which topic are you dealing with? Number 2, the name of the researcher. Give clearly the name of the researcher, the purpose of the research. Why are you doing the research? Now, in the purpose of the research, you must have this in mind: the status. Why? Is it a proposal or a final? Then the type, accomplishment, study, department, school, and the university which you're doing your studies. Then finally, the period. Now in the period, you must give month and the year. For example, you can say January 2020. Next is declaration. What is declaration? The research and the supervisor must approve the information in the research have not been done and presented anywhere they have researchers research. The following must be clearly included: the research declaration, the supervisor declaration, the name of both parties, which is the researcher and the supervisor, the admission number of the researcher, the date, the signature for both parties involved in the declaration. So these are the critical components which must be given in your research. Dedication. What is in dedication? The researcher word of appreciation to either parents, friends, spouse, lecturer, institution for positive impact they have impacted on the researcher. It must be brief and to the point. Acknowledgement. What is acknowledgement? The state of researcher honoring and acknowledging those who have influenced and inspired him or her as the researcher pursue the study. The order of acknowledgement: the maker, the Almighty God, the supervisor, the lecturer and learning institutions, the classmates, the friends, parents, any other you can mention their very names. So we come to the next area, abstract. Now in abstract, you must clearly indicate the following. The statement which shows a brief explanation of what we expect from the research, which includes the abstract gives a brief summary of the research from introduction to literature review to research methodology, and finally, finding and conclusion. But if you are doing a proposal, you end in research methodology. The following must come out clearly. 1. The importance of the study. 2. The specific objectives. 3. The theories underpinning the study. 4. The target population and sample size and technique. The data collection method. Are you using primary data or secondary data or both? The data analysis. Then the finding and recommendation must be clearly indicated. As we have said, if it is a proposal, then you end in the data analysis. The abstract is single alignment. Table of content. Now in table of content, the summary of all areas covered in the research, which it shows all contents in the research from preliminary to appendix page by page. It is the work of allocating particular page in the research. Preliminary is presented in Romans. Introduction to appendix presented in page form, numbering. So when you are dealing with research, preliminary is normally presented in Romans, and then from introduction to appendix chapter 1 to chapter 5 all the way to appendix, you must do it in numbering form. Now list. Now when you talk about list, you're talking about list of abbreviation, list of tables, list of figures, determines where to get particular table and figures in the research. Shows the list of 1. Tables which are presented in the research. 2. Figures, the figures which shows the presentation of research. 3. Abbreviation, it gives a list of abbreviation and the meaning. Then operational terms shows the meaning of particular term as used in the research. So any term that you have used in the research, and especially you introduce when you are independent and dependent variables.